Hello, this is Seamus, N7MYW. I figured today I'd move things around a little bit on the radio desk and thought, hey, why not give another tour of what I have? I'm always posting and doing videos on my radio gear and what I'm operating on and the bands I'm operating on, so I figured why not just take a little tour. So I'm going to try to do this. The lighting's not super great in here. I'm trying to work with what I have. So let me turn down the volume on some of these radios and see if I can get some light on here. Alright, there we go. So, I've been blessed. I'm seriously blessed over the last 3 years with the amount of gear that I've been able to acquire. Been selling some things to get it. Definitely helped when Americans got the stimulus pack, so that helped with a radio or two. But what I have right now is just going to last me forever. It's just so good. Not to say that I won't ever get other radios, but these just work so well for me. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to point out is the ICOM 7300. Now currently it's as you can see, it's on 6 meters. And if I swing 6 meter FT8, and I've done some sideband too, you can see that there we have the WSJTX. I always get those wrong. But running some 6 meter currently. So got that, and then the first radio I had purchased about 3 years ago that kind of took the place of my Yaesu FT818 because I was running QRP in this apartment most of the time. Would be this Yaesu FT991A. It's been an amazing radio. And I don't need to quantify either of those radios right there for what they do. It's an amazing that they could have pretty much a shack in the box here with an antenna tuner with 100 watts. If this had 2 meter and 70 centimeter, what an amazing thing. I think that ICOM needs to do that next. Not in a 705, but in a 100 watt model. And it would be nice to see Yaesu. Now, there could be something coming out in the future, I don't know, but I would love to see Yaesu come out with something like this in something the size of the 705, if not a little smaller, but that has 10 or 20 watts with an antenna tuner inside, or it doesn't have to have a tuner, that's fine too. Either way. But two of the best radios on the market, in my opinion, for the dollar. And an oldie but a goodie. I owned this radio many years ago that I purchased in 2010, I believe. The Kenwood TS2000 was Kenwood's last radio that had HF and 2 meter and 70 centimeter radio. Still an amazing radio, internal tuner, 100 watts. You can do satellite work, even has a satellite button so that it'll automatically change on your frequencies for Doppler. Just an amazing radio. So that particular radio is a gem. I use it mainly for HF and for 70 centimeters. You can't see them, but I'll go ahead and turn them on. But right up here in the purple is my TYT 220 mobile, and then over here on the left, which is now turning on. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's really hard to see without getting closer. But that would be my Anytone 578. So those are my VHF UHF radios for both DMR and 220. I love 220. That's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, VHF band. So that takes care of those. Then it pops up to these wonderful little critters. Let's see if I can up a little bit of the light. These are some of my handhelds. I just have this thing for handhelds. I don't know what it is. I just love them. In fact, actually, let me just take this off of here. I'll show you what I have. First up, the Kenwood D74. Absolutely amazing radio. Sure, there's some things that they could do better with it, such as not discontinuing it, but changing things around and making a new one. But incredible radio. Stays home, but beautiful. Anytone 878, the UV, not the UV Plus, so this would be the one that has the blue button on the top. That is my main workhorse, other than, of course, the the 578. This is the main workhorse for most of my DMR, both the Pacific Northwest Digital Group and just Brandmeister. Then I have the Wouxun KG-UV6X, which is a commercial radio as well as ham radio. This is just the newest acquisition that I got at the Hamfest in CPAC. And then, of course, I'm going to turn some of these radios on. Then we have the Yaesu FT3D, just still probably one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best handhelds for the price made. The 5's nice, but there are some things it has that I don't care for, so no reason to upgrade. The Yaesu FT70D, amazing radio for the price. Just incredible. C4 FM, tons of memories. It can be a little cumbersome sometimes to get the memories programmed, but once you've got them in there, you're pretty much done. Then I have the TYT Tri-Band. Now it's hard to focus on this because of the brightness of that screen, but the TYT is a 2 meter, 220, and 70 centimeter all band, or not all band, but just a tri-band FM. Then of course this is the ICOM quad band. So you have 6 meters, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and 1.2 gigahertz. Needs a little work on that. The speaker's not the greatest, but I use a separate mic for that, so it works out pretty good. And then I have a Motorola XPR, I believe this is a 6580, and this is for my local 927 megahertz repeater. So it does a really good job. So those are some of my handhelds. I do have a couple of other handhelds that are in the other room that just don't fit, but I can't fit them all up here. So I use just a 27-inch television as my main monitor for, let's see if I can back this off a little bit, for my FT8 and all of my ham radio needs. I can program all of my radios through this computer. And primarily, the computer that does all the work for me now is that little thing right there. That is the Intel NUC, N-U-C. That tiny little box right there, which you can't really see super well, but it's about the size of a larger paperback book. And boy, I gotta tell you, that little critter will do amazing, amazing things. So, anyway, that's a little bit of a tour of, I'm going to turn this back up so we can see things a little bit better. A little bit of a tour of what I have for my radio gear. I'm currently operating with a series of ham sticks, and my radios do really well on their own with the ham stick. Occasionally I have to go out and fudge things a little bit, but they are cut for as close as I can get to resonant, but I do have to use the tuners now and then in the radios for that. In fact, actually, you know what? I'm going to take you out and show you what that looks like. Primarily, my antenna connectors are right back there. Oh, I actually forgot to show you. I also have another handheld. This is the VX5 by Yaesu. Die-cast little critters. Absolutely wonderful. If you go out here, I turn down the... Oops, sorry about that. It get really, really bright. I have a one-bedroom apartment, so it's not very big. But you know what? It's my own piece of paradise. And what I use is that right there. That is an MFJ 5-inch mag mount with couplers so that I can unhook this. And there it is. Just, it's really bright. I have to see if I can... There we go. And that right there is my 6-meter antenna. It's not up very high off of here, but it definitely is up high enough. I'm about 40 feet up in the air, and I've got a view that faces south. So it's usually when these trees aren't here, my signal's a little better because they get in the way a little bit. But what I do is I just uncouple this, and then all of my other shark sticks and MFJ ham sticks all have the same coupler. So I can just, let me see if I can do it, and I'll show you here. So just pop that off. Pops off like that. And it just has a small little key, as you can see there. Just pop another one on, tune it up, and away you go. Also on here I have a dual band. I usually mainly use this for 70 centimeters, and then I have a Hustler for 220, and this is my main dual band 2 meter 70 centimeter antenna. On the other side over here I have a secondary antenna. This one's usually on 10 meters. I'll put any band I want on here with the same couplers. That is on my TS2000 currently, which allows me to use both radios, of course not simultaneously. I'm not going to blow out my SDR on my other radios, but I can switch the radios on and off. And then I have my Mega Loop, my MLA30, which is for receiving, and what an amazing little loop antenna this is. I've got another video that I've done on that MLA30, so if you go back just a little bit on the history of my videos, you'll see that, that particular one. So that's it, and those all go inside to switching boxes, and I switch out each time. It makes for a wonderful little setup that works really well. I think that when it comes to ham stations, it's the best I've ever had. And unless I win the lottery, that's going to do it for the amount of gear I have. But I got to tell you, I'm blessed, and I don't need anything else. Sure, I want some of the other large radios and some of the other gear, but these are amazing. Just incredible what I have. I forgot to point out I also have Vibraplex Vibra key here, and then a small little Morse key or Morse code key. It's just a standard single key, but I was usually going to get that for portable, and I'll take it with me, just unplug it, and away you go. So that is a little bit of a background of what I'm using for my station. I mainly work sideband and FT8 and FT4, but I do occasionally foray into CW or some of the other modes. I have tried a couple of the other modes. They just aren't as interesting to me, but always something new. And then of course I do use DMR and Fusion, System Fusion a lot. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the current setup. It's going to stay this way for a while, but we're ham operators. Who knows? Always enjoyed to move the station around a little bit and clean too. That's one thing I always forget, and I learned early on. Get those dust bunnies from out behind there. Get out and clean those things. A little can of air. And also remember to clean out the fans and other things on the backs of the radios. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think in the comments. And by all means, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I'm also on both Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram as N7MYW. Look forward to seeing you there and seeing you on the bands. So I will say 73s from N7MYW.